Heyo, Not the Hero here. I'm bringing you something special today. Something that I don't think anyone is expecting of me. And if you are, what's your secret? Do you know me that well? Those of you who know me know that I hate Dead by Daylight. Those of you who do know me extremely well, though, might know that I know everything about that game. So here I am, playing Hooked on You. Let's see how it goes. Of course, if you like this content, please consider subscribing. And maybe, if you like the video enough, I'll do other things that I absolutely hate. Ugh, I was having fun with Wraith, come on, you arrive at the beach but something feels off. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you feel uneasy and cold. And here's why. Spirit appears, as if from nowhere. Hey Narkith, bet you didn't expect this hot piece of sass. What, goth girlfriends can't make silly sexy puns from time to time? Dwight and Claudette scram. Yeah, I use these two simpletons to dupe you. You're easy to dupe. Maybe because deep down, you wanted to be duped. There's no way Wraith can be keeping you happy. Spirit's usual disaffected nature has given way to some combination of disgusted and desperation. And it's kind of working. Wraith's a fake. He's not even a real ghost. He only pretends he doesn't want people to care about him. But really, that's all he wants. And he wants it more than anything. Can you imagine wanting something? So cringe. I bet he won't even tell you his theory about this island. What a fake. You deserve to be with someone real. A real ghost. Someone who really doesn't give a damn. Someone who doesn't even care if you say yes or no to me. Don't even answer. You see through her desperate last-minute attempt to win your affection. It's almost sad. You turn around and walk back to Wraith without so much as saying a word. Dang, what? Spirit? Me? No, come on, girl. You can do better. You came back. No one ever comes back. Wraith is shook. He's shooken. Are those tears welling up in his eyes? You can't tell because he looks away. There's a sniffle, and he looks back at you, beaming. I want to show you something. You follow Wraith to a corner of the ruins that you haven't seen. He brushes aside some dead leaves and branches, revealing a hatch in the ground. Want to do the honors? You open the hatch with some effort and lower yourself into a long tunnel, grabbing onto a rusty ladder and beginning your descent. Be careful. The heck is it? Do we get to see Plague yet? You descend into a spooky, dim-lit room. It looks like an ancient ritual chamber, with torches, tapestries, engraved skulls, animal remains. On one end is a set of intricately carved locks and cuff mechanisms on the wall. A torture area? On the other side is a table with potions, books, and maps. Look at the map. You unfurl one of the larger rolled-up pieces of canvas, revealing a detailed map of the island. It's all here. Trapper's Cave, Spirit's Lighthouse, Huntress's Cabin, all the common areas. Even IP Island up in the corner with little hearts drawn around it. I figured out the layout of the entire island. I need to know what it is I'm trying to escape from. You pick up one of the larger leather-bound books, and Wraith walks over, opening to a specific page. You see incantations, symbols, a drawing of someone chained to the wall. A different language you can't read, except the words, Cult of the Black Veil. Conveniently, those words aren't exactly the language you can read. From everything I've found, I think these are the ruins of an ancient cult. They seem to be devoted to some type of sentient evil. I think they used this island, or maybe the person they worship did, And I think they use this ritual site to travel to and from the island. I think they sacrifice people on this torture wall in order to open some portal out of here. You walk over to the wall and examine the chains and locks. It looks like some kind of torture wall. Wow, what happened to people here? Did they keep prisoners? It looks like they were tortured, but from what I've been able to dig up, it was something more. Ritualistic, serving a larger purpose. I have reason to believe those prisoners weren't alive for long. Do you think the cult of the Black Veil is still around? Are we in danger? I don't know. Maybe. But I have a plan. All we need. And you're right as you're finally about to get some of that sweet, sweet information you've been lusting after. Claudette and Dwight pop in again. This time they swear. It's a good reason. I promise we're not being manipulated this time, honest. It's time for dinner, you silly gooses. Come get some food. Dwight, for the last time, the plural of goose is geese. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Dang. What a fun day you've been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining. And that's not just the remaining anxious sweat from spending an afternoon courting a psycho killer. No. You are really feeling this whole romantic experience. Don't worry. I'll keep your dirty little secrets. But enough gentle ribbing. It's time to get back to business. All the appetizing signals have arrived for dinner. Including Trickster. Wraith is here too. We're not going to do the gag, where we cram them all on screen at the same time again. So just believe me, they're all here. And they're just as sexy and demented as you remember them. With your love on the line, everyone is being very careful not to offend you by saying the wrong thing. Congrats, by the way, on getting this far. I'm as surprised as you are that these four are falling for you. No. Not because of your personality, but because you just met them yesterday. However, since Trapper seems like the biggest long shot to end up holding onto your heart, he throws caution to the wind and speaks up. It's a pretty small consolation prize for being the least loved killer on Murderer's Island. But hey, letting them have this one moment in the spotlight is the least we can do. And heaven knows they won't do any better than that. If I'm dining solo, I'm eating what I want, and you're all eating it too! Lamb shank, rare, salt, pepper, no sauces allowed, and serve it with one single piece of broccoli so Wraith won't complain. I like broccoli. Gives me horrible gas. Oh, I don't like that. Buddy, wait till you smell what the rare lamb does to my bowels. It's awesome. Dinner will be served up shortly, but certain power brokers would like to know about your day. Would you like to share your day with the rest of the group? You've had an interesting day, that's for sure. But how will you describe it to the others? Say too much or too little, and it could affect your standing with the group. Okay, but don't just sit there saying nothing. Nothing is not an option. It was fun. We had a great time, and we played Constellation Trivia. The whole thing left me starry-eyed. Hey! Everyone rolls their eyes. Talk about sexy. No, really. If you're gonna tell us a story, talk about something sexy instead of whatever that was. Wraith smiles. You're strangely good at getting him to do that. Dwight and Claudette bring out dinner. Everyone eats in silence. No one trusts anyone now, and they're all very tired. Oh. Wait, no, sorry. That's a dreary supernatural horror thriller set in Antarctica. Not a charming parody dating sim set in an undisclosed tropical paradise. Bony appetite! Don't you mean bon? No, almost everything we serve has a lot of bones in it, even the vegetables. Impossible to avoid on this island. Everyone eats without speaking. Tensions are rising, both of the sexual and deadly variety. When everyone finishes, Dwight and Claudette come back to clean up the table. They linger around you as they pick up your plate, take your napkin, and dust crumbs off the table. What would you like to say to the servants? Thanks. Your top-notch service is much appreciated. In fact, here. For us, just for doing our jobs? Thank you kindly. Everyone, if you would please be so kind as to follow us to the fire pit, we'd greatly appreciate it. We've been told something big is going to happen, something that will change everything. You can go willingly, or you can go unwillingly. You have no choice, tough cookies. Did you have a choice on how you said that, dweeb? Yes, and I immediately regret how I did. Good, something needs to change around here. Fire is rebirth. Fire illuminates the soul. I hope the fire isn't too smoky. Smoke hurts my eyes. I have pretty sensitive eyes. I'm also horribly afraid of it. The fire, I mean, not my eyes, because of childhood trauma involving fire. And finally, everyone starts moving towards the fire pit, if only to get away from Wraith's complaining. I think his complaining is cute. You take a seat on a comfortable log, feeling the fire's heat against your skin, and wait for other killers to take their places, wondering who will want to tell them a story. No, who will want to tell a story this time? Will narrator tell a story? I bet they've got a stunningly creative mind. Hey, you think, are they allowed to simply place thoughts in my mind like this? That doesn't seem fair. Everyone makes their way in, but something unexpected happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Something almost always seems to be happening here, so nothing is probably not a great sign. Oh, cool. And now everyone is looking at you. So, you know, do something. Should I pick someone to tell a story, or we could play charades, boggle? Oh, we were actually thinking, why don't you tell us a story? Wraith points to his spine and skull staff thingamajig at you. You duck out of its way. Who knows what that thing can do? Probably shoot lasers. Try not to bore us! We're just very interested in you. Don't speak for me, huntress. Now you can't tell if you're warm from the fire or if it's your nerves heating up. I know that the fire is right here, but maybe if we stop talking about it all the time, we can start to pretend it's not here and doesn't, you know, threaten to burn us all alive. He's not supposed to hear me. Get out of here, Wraith. Naketh was about to make an important decision about telling a story or not. Oh, tell a story. Sure, I'm game to tell a story. I sure hope it's a mystery. Get out of here. Okay, so what type of story do you want to tell? Action. Here's an action-packed yarn for you lot. The time I got into a bar fight. The group is interested. They lean in. I'm all ears, and I'm not talking about the bucket of them I have on my boat. You crack open a beer by smashing the bottle cap off on the nearest rock before starting. I'm at the local watering hole, powering up with my regular 12 beers before I slay at the pool table. Slay's good. Steely Dan blasts from the jukebox. The bartender's tip jar is filled to the brim. I pound the final pint and smash the glass on the counter as I demand shots for the entire joint. The patrons cheer for me. I'm their god. Suddenly, I hear the telltale revving of engines. Reviving. I hear the telltale revving of engines outside. Motorcycles. The saloon doors swing open. Wait, it's a saloon now? And in walks my arch nemesis, Big Slim, the giant of North Toledo. He sounds sexy. Thought I smelled something acrid from Akron when I hopped off the hog, Slim says with a sneer. I get up from my stool, the gal behind me rubbing my shoulders, revving me up for the inevitable fight. Long way from home, aren't we, Slim? What are the fine people of Elm Street going to do without someone to sell them someone's second-hand cufflinks tonight, I taunt him. He strokes his oily beard. The story has a lot of specific geographic references in it. I have a perfectly good job at the pawn shop. Why are you coming at me like that? Slim yells. That's fair, I screamed back. Why do we even hate each other? I can't even remember. Something about me cutting you off in traffic, but it was a misunderstanding, Slim yells. Well then, let's hug it out, I say, tears starting to well in my eyes. And we made up. What about the bar fight? Oh, yeah, we got into a real blowout fight later that night. Really yelled our proverbial heads off, but it was just an argument about whether you should say pop or soda. It's soda. Come on! I gave up headlining at Coachella for this. Spirit laughs hysterically. People laughing at you, but it's a laugh you're ready to accept. That sure was a kind of story, technically. Okay, that was not a very good story. I don't mean to insult you, but it was actually quite bad. Sorry, but this narrator keeps it real. We can't just end there. So who else would you like to hear a story from tonight? You look from killer to killer, trying to decide who might be the most entertaining. Honestly, Trapper is next entertaining. Trapper surprises everyone by immediately stepping up and unironically taking an orator's posture. There was a young man who loved his young wife and the child they had. Give the lovebirds a happy life. But one day the couple went out for a swim. Mother didn't return. The boy only had him. Some said the currents took her away, yet others said different. Pointed the husband's way. For the young man was fearless, cunning, and smart. And he had many goals, both grand and bold. Easier, they'd say, done with a fresh start. A wife with her own dreams wouldn't help him at all. Lucky for him, hers drowned in the streams. Neighbors only whispered, though, of a crime so great, for no one ever accused him, lest they meet the same fate. That was different. How do you react to this performance? Hurrah! You stand and clap loudly. Trickster takes out an air horn and blasts it. Quiet! Trapper is disgusted by your display of joy. Poetry is meant to be perceived internally, not enjoyed. Anyone else exhausted trying to keep up with what makes these killers happy? How was story time? A lot of people like to take pot shots at sequels, but I think every good story deserves a follow-up. When you think it's the end, the sequel is almost never as rewarding as the original. That's why I'm much more a fan of the episodic style of storytelling. You know, it takes a series a lot of pressure off of any individual installment and builds a greater sense of community between audience and creator. Tell me, Nakith, if you can delete any sequel from existence, what would it be? Don't answer that. We don't actually care. We're just here to make sure that we seamlessly move on to the next segment of the evening. God forbid my small talk get in the way of a romantic twilight moment. Dwight, I'm gonna need you to shut your yap trap. We know... You know that we need to get back to that thing we do whenever we're not on screen. Okay. You have fun tonight and try not to wink wink end up dead. Why did you say the words wink wink out loud? And what kind of double entendre are you getting at with the end up dead thing? Dwight is physically incapable of winking, not since the accident. And you do know that all of these people are despicable criminals with double-digit kill counts, right? Well, except for Spirit, she doesn't really belong here. She's strictly a victim, not a perpetrator. No wonder she's pissed. Did I hear somebody trash-talking Spirit? Deal me in! What do you say we take this talk to the hot tub so I can soak this bod while I roast that ghost with some killer hot takes? Please, enough talk of burns, things that are lit or getting blazed. It's enough that these activities have to be set next to a literal fire. Must it be surrounded by figurative flames as well? What if we turned and ran as far away from this place as we could, just you and me? On those spindly legs, you'd probably tire before you got too far. If it's running away to someplace more secluded, Nakath is after. They could obviously join me. Have you seen these legs? Pure power. Not that my walk speed really reflects my giant stature, but that's because I choose to move slowly for stealthy reasons. It's my own choice. It's completely logical. Why is everyone so obsessed with comparing themselves to each other and creating drama? I'm so over all of that. Don't you get it? Society wants to trick you into fighting with each other so that corporations can swoop in, sell you fake solutions to all your fabricated problems. I'll be sitting in the shade and drinking something locally sourced while thumbing through a public domain novella printed on recycled paper because I refuse to play their game anymore. It's like she's actively trying to be as unappealing as possible. Does it really turn anyone else on or just me? Despite Trapper's insatiable appetite, it seems his attention, along with the attention of everyone else, is still on you for the moment. If you could, I don't know, just pick one of us, maybe we could move on with our lives, or, you know, some special projects we might have going on. You heard him. Who will it be? Who will you head off with for an evening activity? I'm just saying, you may not get a ton of chances to date around like this before your time on Murderer's Island comes to a close. And no, I'm not satisfied with that name either. But this is streaming reality TV dating show boom happening. It's pretty much all that wasn't taken. Which killer will you pick? And yes, we're back to excluding Trickster because... ugh, that guy. I'm going with Wraith. I'm close to getting off, or doing something with this island with him. Wraith? I knew you'd pick me, who am I kidding? But I did pick you. Oh, did he say I know you wouldn't pick me? Oops. Wraith immediately turns and runs away. It's not like he didn't tell you what you were getting into. Well, follow him. Doi. Let's go! You catch up to Wraith, and as usual, he appears a little anxious. Hey, you seem a little off. What's wrong? Wraith stops and tries to not look at you. After a moment, he relaxes. You can tell, huh? You must be getting to know me pretty well. There's that big sigh again. Sorry, sometimes I get too in my head. You nod, understandingly. Well, maybe there's some way we can get you out of here. Out of there? Out of there. Like, I want to pick this option, but I kind of feel like he's too nervous about that. But let's do it anyway. We're on a beach. Maybe we should get down and dirty in the sand. It'd be a shame to let it all go to waste. And just to make sure there's no confusion about your intentions, you wink. That will work. There's no way Wraith will misinterpret this. That's a great idea. But maybe we can both keep clean if I go grab Dwight and get him dirty instead. What? As Wraith runs off to kidnap Dwight for some nefarious purpose, the narrator looks at you and smirks. Yes, the narrator is so smug about being right that they are now talking in the third person. I get it, you're right. Yep. Thank you. Wraith returns with an exhausted-looking Dwight and some shovels, and you realize you will now be burying Dwight in the sand and making a sand sculpture around his head. Look, I know this isn't what you had in mind, but still seems kind of fun. Yes, it does. Okay, what sand sculpture do you want to build? A mermaid. Let's make Dwight a mermaid! I'm so excited! Yes, just like Mommy wanted. You dig a hole, the size of a person. This truly is a Dead by Daylight experience, isn't it? Once it's big enough, an unenthused Dwight gets in, and you pile sand on him up to his neck. You put the finishing touches on Dwight. Wraith takes out a Polaroid camera and takes a pic of the three of you. He's all smiles. Dwight looks miserable, but Claudette's there too. Wow, that really relaxed me, thank you. Oh wow, it's so late. Time flies when you're on a date with the coolest person on the island. I'm cool? What? Oh, this is a date. Wraith smiles and rolls his eyes. Come on, let's get back to the group. As you start to leave, you hear Dwight whimper. High tide's gonna come in, I'm gonna drown. Okay, bye, Dwight. You turn and catch up with Wraith. You try to impress a killer, You're trying to impress a killer, after all. Dwight's screams gradually fade into the background as you walk arm in arm with Wraith. Claudette is there! Why are we ignoring that she's there? Claudette's there. She can dig him out. What a beautiful night. Wraith turns to you, smiling sheepishly. Wow, this day went by so fast, but guess it's over. I don't understand why it's... You strange, beautiful weirdo.